Welcome to Bookwood. Hi, I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. And before I really dive in this video of my first 2 weeks of Aurelium, I want to thank all the people who patiently waited around whilst I tried to create content during a very hectic month of August and when I didn't succeed. So I hope that from now on, with the kids back at school and those things going on, I'll be back on track. The cats are having zoomies, so if you have a lot of strange noises going on, it is cats running and jumping around and bumping into things. It's quite normal over here. So in these first 2 weeks for Aurelium, I did not start immediately with my courses since I had 2 books that I was still reading from August, from what was to be my vlog when my children pick my books. By the way, I have footage for that vlog, I just never got around to editing it. So if you want to see my kids picking up my books and to have a little idea of what we spent the last 2 weeks August doing, then let me know in the comments below and I will try to find the moments to edit that video for you. So I finished up 2 books and I will just quickly mention them, especially this one, which is L'Homme Noir de Robin Hobb, because this is, for the Fits Along, it is the middle part of Fool's Fate of the Twining Man trilogy. And I mentioned this one because I immediately went on with the last part of it, which is this one, which is Adieux et retrouvailles. And this one I did read for the Aurelium classes. It has a single POV and I just wanted to know how this adventure was ending, so I read them back to back. And since it is series, it will be difficult to tell you more about these books than my thoughts on it in more general. I, as always, loved them, both of them. And I was quite sad when this book ended. It stays very true to all the way all the Fits books are, but in this one it really feels like closing up the Fits chapter. I don't know if that will be the case. I know that the next books that we are going to read we are going back to the Rainlands, so we switch characters, and I have absolutely no idea if in the next series of that we will have Fits again or not. Please don't spoil me, but I am looking very forward to reading these. No semester at school is completed without having some excursions, and so during this autumn semester at the Aurelium Academy we will have some of those. The first excursion on which we went is to this event at my husband's workplace that is especially organized for families to understand and learn about the jobs their loved ones do. We had the occasion to see all the heavy machinery that they have, not all size of excavators, of course, and my husband did teach my sons and my daughter how to use an excavator. This is a very small one because, of course, my husband has the biggest one. The kids enjoyed this really much. They also had the occasion to ride in a truck, to play around, of course, to learn about all these machineries through a quiz. Of course, we were fed with kids-friendly food, and they really appreciated that. The evening only was complete if we could see the lights of the trucks. This is a very old excavator, and of course I read everywhere. And then we had this magnificent firework. I also finished up J'ai oublié d'exister, which is by a Canadian author. And once this audiobook was done, I went on with Shades of Light, which in English has another title, will be around somewhere. But that one I also did read for my Aurelium classes. It has a prime number of letters, or the French edition does, and it is also the final book in a series. So I read this book for both. Like I said in my reading journal setup, I will be using a scroll that lets me ignore the one book per prompt rule, because otherwise I fear that in a month as busy as September I will not be able to read all the books, even if I must say that I slowly see the page just read amount going up, which makes me quite happy, because I saw it go down for a while. Our second excursion was to the library of Andenne. There is, for the moment, an exposition about Vincent Zabus, which is a scenarist or a writer of comic books that is from Namur, which is not that far. This was organized because we have this weekend with a huge fair about comic books. It is something Belgium is very known for. We got the opportunity to see a lot of the artists that create the images of the comics he works with, and to learn how he creates the stories and how it all comes together. The next book I picked up is Les Ombres de Bombay by Abir Mukherjee. In English, it is called The Shadows of Men. It is the next book in the Captain Sam Wyndham series, in which we are following a captain that is a part of the British police, but then he's stationed in Calcutta, India. And all these books are taking place starting at around 1920. We are now, I think it must be 1924-25. And in the background of these books and all the murders that we are solving are linked to the Gandhi movement, to the political situation in India just before that the Indians became independent, and how their how you say, because it's not a war, how their protestations and the things they do to get this independence are going. In this book, we addressed more the side of the religion, we can call that a war, religion war between Hinduistic people and Muslims is taking over after that Gandhi's protests stop. This is a book in which you also get the point of view of, and I hope I pronounced that correctly, Satyendra Banerjee, which is his co-policeman in which he works, and who is Indian, and who is torn between working for the British and in a lot of ways adhering to the British rule, but then coming from a family that is really against it and really wants to get rid of the British. And we see how Satyendra will have the inner struggles about that in this one, and I thought it was very interesting. After the exposition we visited, we wanted to get some of the books to read that we saw there, and so we went downstairs in the building to the library, and I took the occasion to show you the beautiful staircase I told you about a while ago. This is a view of the complete children's section. The adult section is upstairs. I read the book Magritte by Vincent Zabus and Campi, which is a biography and not a biography of René Magritte. I really enjoyed this read, and it gave me an extra credit at Aurelium. The last book I read is this one, and if you remember, or if you, especially if you are on the Aurelium Discord, but also if you saw my reading journal video, I put up a poll. I had the prompt to read a book from a random country, and I found a book for Iggy. Ça va? Each of the countries I got, and I found all of them interesting, so I asked on the Discord which book I should read, and out of this poll came Chronicle of a Dead Foretold by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It's a very small book, and I am very glad you made me read this one, because I really enjoyed it. We will have been told, we are told the story of the murder of Santiago Nasser, and this is set in Colombia, and I had to look it up, but it is set in the 1950s, and he has been murdered by twin brothers. The reason why will be given away quite early in the book, but I still will not tell, and we will follow through this narrator who has been interviewing all people that were somehow connected to this affair, what exactly happened, how everything was organized, why, who saw what, who did or didn't do something. And I thought it was very interesting to read, especially how people deal with the fact that these twin brothers walk up to them and say, we are going to kill him, and the way they say, like, oh no, they never will, or no, I'm not going to take part in that. I really found it interesting to see the morals of people. I read it almost in one time. It's difficult for me with the kids and the house, and I really I enjoyed it. Maybe not the right word, but I really was interested in this book. We are almost at the end of this video, and we just have to update my reading journal. I printed off the book covers of the books that I read in these first 2 weeks of the readathon, and I also printed off some miniature versions of the scrolls that I used. This is a scroll that gives me the opportunity to ignore the one prompt, one book rule, and then I added in the other 3 to indicate where I changed the prompts. You might notice that the cover for A Chronicle of a Dead Foretold is missing. I finished that book just in time to film this video, and when I filmed this little part, I hadn't started it yet, so I didn't want to include it. Unfortunately, at the moment that I'm filming this, the images of the pet sanctuary animals that we saved already are not yet available, but we did saved 2 already. So I will be updating that in my next video. I did not read any of the books in order, because I first read the ones that came from the library. And this is the point that I say, well, I told you I read Shade of Light for a prompt, but I didn't tell you exactly more about this book. So let's do that before we say goodbye. In this book, this is the 3rd one in the Shades of Magic series by V. Schwab. So again, it will be difficult to tell you more about it, but when I read the first one, I remember feeling very waiting, like, okay, we have some events, but I didn't see where these events would lead to in the end. And then in the second, we have like another set of events, and I go like, okay, this is interesting, but then, oh my, what was that? Let's say the main stakes of it all to me appeared only towards the end of the second book, and in the third book we really dive into solving those, and that the whole way of setting the story up felt a little bit strange to me. But then coming into this last book, I was way more captivated, and I was way more aware of they are really going to take the house apart today. They are so what the stakes are, I got aware of the stakes, and I really got more invested in the characters and in seeing how this all would end. So I did had a nice reading period, and I am looking forward to the next 2 weeks. I will be reading some books that I wanted to read for a while, and I've already started one since I talk about the books I read in the first 15 days. We are already in the second half of the month, and the one I'm reading now, I am very excited to tell you more about in my next vlog. So I hope that we will meet up again, that you will come and see how my second part of the month is going, and to see if I will pass the year or not. I am wondering, how is your reading for Aurelium going? Are you like on track? Where you wanted to be in the books you want to read? And I will be very curious also to know if you are enjoying these books and which one they are. So please don't hesitate to talk to me in the comments. See you soon!